Happy Saturday, you lovely lot.
Hi guys.
And welcome to not a weekend vlog, but Cheers Ears HQ, because we thought we'd sit down and have a bit of a chat about some trips that we've had cancelled and plans for next year.
Yeah, it's quite good timing because yesterday the date was announced that the US borders are opening for UK travellers. So everyone's sort of working on that 8th of November, which is really exciting to see a lot of people now saying their countdown's valid, like they're going like a month.
How nice is it to see
it's
countdowns? So
lovely. I mean, obviously there's a few people out there as well that our hearts go out to because I think they've just missed it. They're on the cusp, or perhaps they've got children that aren't yet double vaccinated, or they're not double vaccinated. So there's a few people that I think it's still not going to work for, which is pretty harsh. Yeah. But it was always going to be like that, wasn't it? The nature of the game. And I think when we've booked and rebooked, we've kind of like done so with like one foot in the camp of it might not happen.
Just got fed up rebooking in the end.
Yeah, so we thought we'd take a little bit of a recap, talk about our plans that weren't and never came to be, or were but never came to be, and then what we're thinking about doing next now that the news is that it's going to be easier to travel.
Yeah, I can't remember how many. I know we've cancelled at least.
It's a long time ago, isn't it?
I think we've cancelled 2 or 3.
I think we cancelled 4 because we had 2. We had 2 trips booked for 2020. We had our 2 weeks in Old Key West in the summer.
Yeah.
And Tesco's Tom was going to come with us.
Yeah.
And we were all really looking forward to that because that was his first time at Disney and it was going to be really lovely to share.
That was 2020.
That was 2020.
So
we were looking forward to that. And literally, I think a month or so before the lockdown happened, I think in January, we thought we'd try and get a week's holiday in as well. And I think we had just booked to spend a week in December 2020 at Universal.
Right.
I think that's what we're at. That's what we were.
Where were we going to stay in Universal?
I think we were going to stay in Cabana Bay.
Right.
I can't remember. I have no idea.
So then that one got cancelled.
Yes. Yeah, because I think it was going to be a cheap week. We planned to do that and International Drive and all the things that we hadn't done for a long time. Yeah,
because the reason we wanted to do that one is because when we go on holiday, we generally, as you know, we just stay at Disney. We love being in that bubble. But then seeing what our friends have been doing and exploring other areas, we really wanted to see, well, it's mainly through watching The Despicable 3 and seeing their whole Universal bit, their whole International Drive bit.
And also Stranger Couple, who do International Drive, and David and Ian, who also do a lot of International Drive places as well. So we just thought it would give us the opportunity, if we're not staying on Disney, to do that a little bit more. Whereas when we're on Disney, we just want to drink all that up and we don't really... We do go out a bit more. But
we want to Truman show it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just love soaking it in.
Yeah, so we thought if we're not at Disney, then it gives us the opportunity to try a few more things. So that's why we'd planned that.
Because when we first started going to Disney, we were always on International Drive.
Yeah, and then we found out how easy it is once you're actually on resort, on property. Just from a driving point of view and transport point of view.
But they were some of, like, looking back on it, when we first started going to Disney, those trips to International Drive where we had to budget really tightly. We had to be really careful with, you know.
Yeah.
I think one trip we went out with all the money we had for the holiday. So, you know, we were having like Subway picnics in the evening.
So there's a bit of nostalgia for us in maybe doing International Drive again and seeing the places we used to go, and maybe doing some of those things again, or just doing it in a different way. We did actually do, I think last year in lockdown, we did a camera vlog about all of those experiences. I'll link that down below for you as well. And the other reason I think we wanted to go back and do a week at Universal is we had that amazing holiday where we were at Kidani, and then we had 3 nights at Portofino. But I did actually damage my toe quite badly on the first night that we were at Universal at Halloween Horror Nights. So much so that I found it really hard to walk around the park for the next 2 days. So the things that I wanted to do weren't as easy to do, and it kind of did sort of like hamper how much we got out of those 3 days. We still had an amazing time, don't get me wrong, but I'd like to go back without my toe hurting. and do more of the Universal. So I thought if we just do week on Universal, so that was the plan. That was the plan for 2020. Then of course it didn't happen. So
then
we got all excited, didn't we, in November last year? We thought, oh, by next summer it'll all be fine. By 2021, absolutely no problem. We got Luke's racing dates through in November because we can't really do anything till we know when he's racing, so we can plan our holidays outside of that. So we got his racing dates through and we got all excited. And we booked another week at Universal, but in May this time.
Yeah.
At Portofino.
Yeah.
And with some friends. And our 2 weeks at Key West.
Oh.
Back home.
Yeah, so we had
Back
two,
home.
I forgot about that. Yeah, so we had 2 big trips. We had a week at Portofino, which was going to be, you know, amazing because when you're on Portofino, you get the express passes to the park, so we could really, you know.
I would still scratch that itch for us of like doing international drive as well a little bit more with that week, and also, you know, get the most out of Universal that we maybe hadn't done before. So yeah, that was the plan. Yeah. But of course, that didn't happen.
That didn't happen. And then the other, we had 2 weeks booked at Old Key West as well.
Yeah, in July. Yeah, and that one I think we were quite hopeful for a while.
Yeah, I was like, I was all in like that. It's definitely going to happen, 100% going to happen.
Yeah, but obviously it wasn't, and it wasn't to be, and that's fine because I think, you know, we kind of knew that it was nice to have something booked and look forward to, but we also knew that if it did have to get cancelled, then, you know, there would come a point where we would be able to rebook and do things. So once those got cancelled, for us it was a bit weird because we like to live life with at least one Florida holiday booked to look forward to, so we had nothing else booked, and we kind of did think maybe we should wait a little bit and just see what happened. So we were waiting, and obviously until we get Luke's race dates through, which won't come through till November for next year, we didn't want to book for 2022, even though a lot of people were like booking for 2022, and we're like, oh god, you know, if we don't book now the prices are going to go up, but we just can't do it. So we spent a bit of time just like thinking we'll wait for those dates and we won't do anything else until we know those dates.
It's a bit like being back at school, you know, you have to work around school holidays and bits and pieces with Luke's racing dates.
Yeah, and Daisy's college and the business. Well, you know, everyone has their things to work around. But for us, we couldn't commit to booking quite yet for next year until we get those dates. So it was a bit of a limbo really, not having anything to look forward to, nothing booked, and difficult to book anything for the rest of the year again because we didn't know what was going to happen. But we were getting a little bit, well, actually, we were thinking we probably ought to do something, didn't we? We did get quite excited when the Disney Magic at Sea dates were publicised, because we thought maybe we could fit in a Disney cruise, you know, the UK cruises that look amazing, and we've enjoyed watching lots of vlogs of people doing those, haven't we? But the dates just didn't work for us, unfortunately. We just couldn't free up time in the business, which was then open and starting to get busier, to be able to do that. So yeah, we kind of like, what do we do? That
definitely wasn't going to work for us. And then we started looking at Disneyland Paris because we've never been. No. We really, really fancied it, and we still do really, really fancy it. And so we started looking at that, and we were really, really close to booking.
We were so close to booking. We've been messaging people for advice. So much so. Oh no.
No, so much so.
So much so that literally we were like, we've got all our information.
Oh yeah.
Tomorrow we're going to book it. We're going to book it tomorrow, and we got to that point. We're definitely going to do it.
Yeah, and we weren't going to stay on resort. We looked at the hotel that David and Ian had used. We liked the transport links. We were so close to pulling the trigger, but for some reason, I just couldn't do it. It
just didn't feel quite right, did it? We were like, we're going to do it, but then something was holding us back.
And we were all in. I loved the look. Price was all good. We were going to
go for New Year.
Yeah.
We thought, because we closed the business between Christmas and New Year anyway. We wanted to stay home for Christmas. We like Christmas at home, and Luke and Daisy love Christmas at home. They didn't want to go anywhere at Christmas, so that was fine. And we thought, okay, well, we'll go that limbo time, that crimbo limbo, gets rid of that weird time for us, and New Year, which is always sometimes a little bit of a, what you do New Year.
We're not big New Year's Eve people.
It's always a bit of a sort of, not let down, but it's always very sort of like, not wonderfully exciting, but just nice. We have a nice time. But we thought maybe that's the time to go and maybe experience that at Disney.
Yeah.
So that's what we were thinking. And then the day that we were actually thinking we really should get round to booking this if we're going to do it, we were downstairs doing breakfast. It was a Monday morning, and you were listening to the radio.
Was it Monday?
It was Monday, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a Monday. You were prepping for breakfast, and
we were, so we're getting ready for breakfast.
Yeah.
Got the LBC on, and then we were all planned. We were going to book Disney Paris that day, and then there was some chatter on the news. I think Biden. I'm not sure if Biden was over, but there was.
No, Boris was over there.
Right, Boris was over there, and I just said to Tracey,
there was talk that there was going to be an announcement imminent about the US borders opening, and we just were like, oh.
I just said to Tracey, I've got a feeling. I'm just going to put, you know, like in golf when you play a safety shot, like you lose your ball, you can't find it, then you play a safety. I just thought, I'm going to book a safety trip. So
because we thought if we waited until the announcement was made, maybe prices would go up, maybe it would be difficult to get something, and we thought, well, let's rather than book Disneyland Paris, let's just book Florida.
Yeah.
Just for that week that we were going to do anyway,
yeah,
for New Year, and see what we could get. So you started looking.
So I started looking. I found some great accommodation, but the first thing I had to sort out were the flights. Because of all these cancelled flights that we've had, we've on our Virgin account, we've still got flights that have all been booked and paid for. Because we play the game with points, I didn't want to cash them in. I didn't want to use the points for anything else, so they were sat on account for us.
And we knew that at some point we would use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I spoke to Virgin and I said, can I book these flights for these dates? And they went, yep. And I went, right, book them. And then I went on to Attraction Tickets. Is it Attraction Tickets or Attraction Tickets Direct?
It's now attractiontickets.com. It used to be Attraction Tickets Direct.
Who have always been fantastic.
Yeah.
They are our go-to. Yeah, they're always fantastic. Whether you book online or whether you speak to them on phone, because it's like booking a holiday with a friend. And yeah, so basically we've booked a trip. We have a trip booked.
We have a trip booked.
So
Very exciting.
We are going out for a week. We are staying at Endless Summer Dockside.
Yes, we're supposed to be Surfside.
Yeah, I booked Dockside, but we might change that. But it's one or the other. I thought I'd book Surfside anyway. So we have booked So it's first of all me, Tracey, Luke, Daisy, and Sam. So it's going to be 5 of us. We have booked one of the suites.
Yeah.
So one of the rooms has got a double bed, and then in another room it's got two queen beds, and then a room for Tracey and I. So yeah, we're off. I can't believe it.
And literally that afternoon was when they announced that the dates would be opening up. Not the dates. The travel would be opening in November. So it was that day.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I'm a bit of an old hippie, but I couldn't pull for some reason I couldn't pull the trigger with Disneyland Paris, and then that morning I just went straight, this is happening, this is going to go. So we got it in. We are all booked and well excited.
We're very, very excited. Obviously our week on Universal is something that we've been trying to do for a couple of years. We do miss Disney. We miss Disney with a passion. We are Disney people at heart. We love Universal, but we've got a real sort of connection with Disney. So it's going to be really weird for us, having not been to Disney for so long, not having quite that Disney fix. But actually at that time of year it was hard to get availability at Disney.
Still now there's, you know, even before they've released, you know, all the openings up.
It's the 50th anniversary, it's that time of year at Disney, which is just crazy busy anyway. So we just thought, we'll do the Universal thing.
Yeah.
It gets us out there, it gets us that Florida sunshine.
Blue skies.
Yeah. And we can do Disney Springs, so we'll have a little bit of Disney in our lives.
Yeah. And the other thing that we're doing on this trip, midway through, we have booked one night at Portofino, where we stayed before. We've booked a room that can sleep 5, and because we're doing that, we get 2 days of the Express Pass.
Yeah. Because we don't know how busy it's going to be at Universal at that time. Things are opening up. It's going to be between Christmas leading into New Year. I know Disney's super, super crazy busy. I'm guessing Universal will be too. And we just want to make sure that if we are going to have to queue for things, we're not going to miss out on anything by having the fast passes for 2 days. It means that we can get a lot done.
Yeah. Because if I priced up the Express Pass for 1 day, and because we're going like kind of high season, it was really expensive. Like it was about 130, 140 pounds each for that fast pass for the day. So then I thought, I know, I'll be smart. I'll book a night at Portofino. Do you know how much the room is at Portofino?
You did tell me, I can't remember.
It's 660 quid for a night. 1 night. That was hard for me to do, but we get 2 days of Express Pass.
And it costs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, we'll have a fancy night at Portofino, either with the rest of the gang or just the 2 of us. But we love it there. And, and we thought it's been for everybody, it has been brutal, this. And I just thought we'll have 2 days where we can just show the card and just skip the lines. So, yeah.
Yeah, so very exciting. To go back to the other reason why, obviously Disney versus Universal, obviously with availability issues, but also part of me is thinking, obviously things aren't going to be quite the same in the parks yet. Things are getting more back to normal, and who knows, by then they might be more fully back to normal than we're expecting. But because we're so much Disney people, and we don't have that sort of relationship with the Universal in our hearts, I think if we're going somewhere and it's not quite the same, I think it will be a bit harder for us. It makes us a bit sadder if it's Disney and it's not quite how we want it to be.
Yeah.
Whereas at Universal, we don't have that expectation. We don't have that. We'll just enjoy it regardless, because we don't have that emotional connection to Universal that we have with Disney. So if it's not going to be quite the same and the experiences aren't going to be quite what we're used to, it's not going to impact us as much at Universal as it would do at Disney.
Yeah, and also there's been a lot of changes at Disney as well. Things like the lightning lanes, things that are all new to us. So I kind of want things to smooth out and settle down a little bit.
Yeah.
And then,
Whereas at Universal, we don't mind that being different, because we don't do it enough for it to be too much of a difference, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And I think
it'll just be new regardless.
Yeah. And Volcano Bay, we're excited for.
If the weather's good.
We will be doing it.
We've been in December twice before.
We will be doing it. We've done water parks in December before. We got called Vikings by,
Yeah. It's that thing. It can be tropical. It can be freezing all in 1 week at that time of year in Florida. So we know that now. We're not going out there expecting it to be the same sort of weather that we've had before in recent years in October or whatever. So
with past experience, it's pretty much always been cold when we've been there in December.
Yeah. Although some days we've had pleasant days where jeans and t-shirts and things, and it's been nice when the sun's come out. And when the sun comes out, it's still that glorious, beautiful, hot on your shoulders kind of feeling, and the skies are blue, and it's certainly better than the UK at that time of year. So we'll just go with what we get.
I'm just so excited to be in an airport. Yeah. I just want to, we're flying Virgin, we're flying out of Heathrow, which is going to be weird.
Yeah.
But I just want to be in an airport. I just want to look around and see people like, it's back. We're going on holiday. I just want to see that,
Yeah. I mean, obviously we've got to do the tests. It was announced yesterday. Obviously we have to do the test within 72 hours of flying. So we'll obviously get that organised. And there's a chance all things can happen between now and then. We still know that, but we are closer than ever we've been in the last 2 years, I think, to actually getting away and getting there.
Yeah.
And we've got that to look forward to, which is more than we've had before.
Yeah. It feels like we're all going to get back.
It feels like it could actually happen.
Yeah, it does feel like it's. Yeah.
You're right. He's gonna go. You're gonna go. You're right.
Yeah. We're gonna get back. Don't know where that came from. That came from downtown. Sorry about that. It's never happened before.
You never think you've cried before.
So yeah, we've got that booked, and then as soon as we've got Luke's dates come through.
So we know which weekends he's racing in 2022. We can then work out what's the busy time for us. We know the busy times for us anyway, and Daisy's college commitments. And then we can book something for next year. Yeah. We're thinking.
Old Key West.
Old Key West, definitely.
Oh, actually, we're thinking of two centres again, aren't we?
We're thinking we might mix it up, because we really loved Kidani. We really loved Animal Kingdom Lodge. So maybe half and half. But we're definitely Old Key West. It's been too long since we've been there.
Yeah.
Too long.
And then when we were at Kidani in 2019, we stopped off at Old Key West. It was like a transfer on the bus for some reason. And it was just like, oh, God.
It was hard getting back on the bus.
It was hard. That was hard. So yes, we will be back. We'll be back. We've still got some more flights on account. As I said before, we play the game with like Tesco's club cards. We've got Virgin credit cards, and we've got some Avios points kicking about as well. Yeah. So yeah, we are ready. So as soon as we've got Luke's dates, we're booking.
Yeah. And we're looking forward to hearing and seeing, for those of you who have actually got dates coming up that you can make and that don't have to get cancelled. Looking forward to seeing and hearing all of that, and all of the Disneyland Paris that people have got booked, because I think we will definitely do Disneyland Paris.
We will be doing that next year.
Even if it's just you and me,
yeah.
we'll just do it at some point, I think, in 2022.
Yeah.
Because the more we've looked into it, the more we think we would really enjoy it.
It looks brilliant.
Yeah.
It does look brilliant, and we would have been over the moon going there at New Year's, and it was just that weird morning, and we had the flights on account, so it wasn't, it was so doable, so we did it. Yeah.
That's it.
That was it. It was so doable. We did it. So yeah.
On a t-shirt.
So yeah, that's our plans. So yeah, we are going back. It's yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go.
And hopefully you all will too soon.
Yeah. So stay safe. Look after one another. Be kind. Cheers.
Cheers.